Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Genets, and this is our wrap up for our classical musical lineup for this phase of our preparation for Wicked coming out in November once again. And we wrap up with Les Miserables, The Miserables, starring a lot of people: Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Sacha Baron Cohen, Amanda Seyfried, Eddie Redmayne. Am I missing anyone? Helena Bonham Carter. There we go.
Yeah, she was there. Did you say Russell Crowe?
Yes, to emphasize,
okay.
Russell Crowe is here. Yeah, this is directed by the guy who made Cats, and you really wonder what the fuck happened.
What?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
I'm not kidding.
Dude, what a fall from grace, man. Make it back up. Because you could do a really good musical.
Yeah, right. I guess all the elements were just right here. I mean, sure. But yeah, this came out tail end of 2012, since it was like an Oscar-esque movie. So back in 2012, did you have any interest in watching this?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't a musical guy. I wasn't like a theater kid either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like just mostly waiting for any superhero movie that's coming my way. I was like, hey, let's go.
Yeah. Like I didn't watch this either in theaters. Like my family did, and they were like, "Do you want to come with us?" I was like, "No, thank you. I'm done with musicals." Cause yeah, I've been going through like Cats, and I'm like, you know what? No, thank you. But like it came out in like Star Movies like months after, and I'm like, you know what? I'll watch a bit of it. And then like I changed channels, and then it was still on Star Movies. Changed channels again, and it was still on. And I was like, how long is this fucking movie? Jesus Christ! And like
It's quite long.
yeah,
Like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
yeah. Eventually, I learned to appreciate this, and that's one of the musicals I do like. Again, like Phantom, there is a big caveat of like, there's one tiny problem here. There's one itty bitty problem, one coinkydink, and that's Russell Crowe. Yeah.
I was also gonna say the same fucking thing. I was like, oh, Russell.
Yeah, it's quite drying when you hear Hugh Jackman sing, and you're like, God damn, you can sing, and then Russell Crowe joins in, and you're like,
I'm sorry, we were not entertained. But, no, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, Russell Crowe gave it his all. He's such a good actor. He is a very good actor. I like his role here. I just wish he sang it in a different way. I feel like he could still sing, it's just not this.
yeah, not
This.
musical. Like I've heard him sing before, and I'm like, oh, you're not bad. What? Why did you say yes to Les Mis? I mean, sure, I get why, but like at the same time, maybe you should know if you're ready for this or not, because musicals are grand. They require big voices, and you can really tell he's training, and you're like, this poor man, make it stop. Put him out of his misery, please.
I am not okay. I'm gonna be very honest. It's just a personal thing. This is not really my type of
Musical?
Yeah, like this kind of singing. I'm just like,
Yeah. This movie, you're like, doesn't nobody talk here? Jesus Christ.
yeah, like no, like y'all not gonna just have a full-on set of dialogue. I think that's why in my opinion, I think I might like Phantom more than this.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Alright.
visually, Les Mis. Musically and like how it was directed, Phantom.
Yeah. Yeah, like, as much as I do appreciate this movie, like, I go towards, like, other types of musical. Like, what's the one with Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman. Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, like, smaller
Yeah,
scale.
that show was good.
Yeah, smaller
Yeah.
scale I like. Like, when it's like this, I'm kind of like, oh man, this really is theater. Okay.
Yeah, another set of British people playing as French people.
Right? But like getting into the meat of it for a bit, like this story spans decades. Like involving Hugh Jackman, Anne Hathaway for like a minute bit. But it's Hugh Jackman, Anne Hathaway's kid, Amanda Seyfried, and like how their paths go along this epic decades long storyline of like Hugh Jackman trying to rewrite the wrongs of his past, like taking care of this kid because it's his redemption, well, what is Russell Crowe's character? Javert
He,
hunting
dude,
him
he
down.
was like the T-1000 for some fucking reason. Like, this dude had it so out for Hugh Jackman. I was like, he stole bread.
Right?
He did not kill like a family, and you're just like, I gotta get this guy.
Yeah.
Like, and he ran away from parole. But for some reason, Russell Crowe was just like, he's like that with like Hugh Jackman. I'm like, calm down.
You know, like he puts the entire town on like lockdown just for one man. You're like, what? Again, what did he do? He stole bread.
Right.
What are you doing?
And yeah. By the way, this man served 19 years for stealing bread. And like that's enough. But then they're like, "No, you're on parole. You ran away from you know." Like, I was like,
did you steal bread from the Queen of France and punch her on your way out? I don't think
right?
so.
Like, I would understand if sorry, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't get it. Why bread? You could have been like, this guy killed somebody because he was like, oh, I have to do it for my family, kind of deal. I would get why Russell Crowe's just like, this son of a bitch, you know? But he stole bread.
Right?
And Russell Crowe is so high off his fumes. Not Russell Crowe himself. The character of...
Javert?
Huh?
Javert?
Javert?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, he's so like... he's so self-righteous to a point where he's like, I am justice, you know? And I was like, oh, calm the fuck down, man.
Yeah.
It's bread.
This is not by Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is by Victor Hugo.
Oh.
It's from like the 19th. It's literally like the tail end of the 19th century.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought... No, oh wait, sorry. I was thinking of Joe Schumacher.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. I was thinking Phantom of the Opera because Andrew Lloyd Webber did that one.
Yeah.
And he also did Cats. Sorry, I thought
No.
I did all three.
It's fine.
Anyway, my apologies. Anyway. Yeah, like, again, this man would go above and beyond. God forbid you litter. Like, I just couldn't take his character seriously.
Yeah.
I really couldn't.
Though there's one actress here that I was like, Jesus Christ, which is Anne Hathaway. When she's acting the fuck out of her role, you're like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, you're literally killing me in the first half of this movie, and this movie's like 3 hours long. Why? Stop it. I mean, don't stop it, but like, Jesus Christ, you're amazing.
Yeah. And her role here was, well, the mother of Anne Hathaway, where she...
Mother of Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, sorry, Amanda Seyfried. My God. Anyway, yeah, and she's just this tragic story of this girl who just gets pulled into the streets, gets her hair cut, and now she's selling her body just to feed her, like, little daughter.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
It's rough. I'm like, when it says El Miserable, Les Miserables, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that solo she does, she's like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck. And then she dies pretty early on, and like, that's when Hugh Jackman's character, John Valjean, is like, I swear I'll protect your child, and then that's when Russell Crowe bursts in, and you're like, can you calm the fuck down, man? He just said, he pleaded his case already. Can you leave him alone?
Where do the other breads go? I was just like, oh god damn, Russell.
And then after that, Russell Crowe has a solo, and you're like, man.
I think I might have fell asleep on that. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, what did Anne Hathaway die of?
Doesn't say. I guess he just got sick. Like.
Yeah, the same with like. Sorry for spoilers, but even Hugh Jackman, like the guy just started dying, and it's like, why?
I have no idea.
Like tetanus from the sewer water that he went through? I don't know.
Yeah. Who else can sing? Who else did you find out you could sing here that you were like, my god, I didn't know you could do this?
I didn't watch. Well, The Greatest Show. What was this? The Greatest Showsman or whatever.
Showman. Oh,
yeah, The Greatest Showman.
I mean, in this
Yeah,
movie,
like that came out in 2015, right?
17. But no, I'm talking about
17.
this movie that you were like, any performance there that you were like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
Hugh Jackman.
oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
I never knew he could sing. Like, I was like, oh, he's Wolverine.
Yeah,
But then I heard him here, and I was like, oh shit, I did not know that.
yeah. Who else? What's his face? Eddie Redmayne. When you hear him sing, you're like, holy fuck, everybody's amazing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I think he was in another musical that I watched. I forgot what.
Yeah, I think that part of the story of Les Mis is the one I'm like, I kind of feel more attached to, just because you live life long enough and you're like, damn right, we should fight for our freedom.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So like, there's a little bit of romance between Amanda Seyfried and Eddie Redmayne's character,
Yeah,
and like, God, what's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to remember his character's name
Yeah,
because it was fun to say. Yeah. Anyway, he like sees that, he's like, I gotta make sure this guy doesn't die
yeah,
because he's fighting in the revolution. By the way, a big jump, very big jump.
yeah,
Didn't know that was gonna happen. Yeah, we're at the French Revolution, and Eddie Redmayne's character is kind of leading this one small barricade,
yeah,
and he has like another lover, not a lover, but like a girl who has a crush on him.
yeah,
Sadly, she dies. A lot of people die.
yeah. They not even the kids spared. You're like, oh Jesus Christ! All right.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and I gotta. It was like my first time watching this too, from start to finish.
Yeah.
And like, I really thought like after the kid dies, there might have been an uproar,
Yeah.
but that wasn't the case. They're all just like, "Oh shit!" They're not fucking around. And
Right.
everybody's getting shot. And I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
cool scene, though. Very cool scene. I like it."
Yeah. I also like the song that comes before that. The what's it called? One More Day. You're like, God damn, it's pretty sweet. Until Russell Crowe chimes in, you're like, right, he's still in this movie. Fuck.
Yeah, he was like trying to do like this whole double agent thing where he was like, "I'm part of the revolution," and then the kid's like, "He's a fucking rat."
Right? And he starts
Yeah.
boxing the other revolutionaries, and they whack him with a metal pipe. I thought they were like, oh fuck, we killed him. Oh shit, we done it
My
now.
bad.
Right?
Yeah, but yeah, by the way, I love the kid.
Yeah.
Kid had the most French accent out there. He's just like, hey, he's a fucking spy, ain't it? And I'm like, yeah, that's French.
Yeah, I'm like, aren't you a spy too? Aren't they fighting the English as well? What the fuck is happening?
I was just like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Like, thank you so much, monsieur. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but at this point, you're like, you know what? Everybody's faking being French. Who cares?
Yeah.
But like, what was I saying? Like, I do like that this act of this movie concludes the story between Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe when they're like, you know what? We're bearing this fucking hatchet. No more. I stole bread. You're still not over it, and I'm gonna spare your life.
I couldn't take this scene seriously. Anyway, by the way, so, like, Hugh Jackman joins in to fight as a volunteer, and he meets up with Russell Crowe, and then there's like, I'm gonna take care of this guy.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, alright, go take care of him. You both know each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, it looks like he's about to stab him while Russell Crowe's tied up, and then he cuts the ropes, and he's like, you're free to go. I forgive you. Like, but Russell Crowe's like, a thief is always a thief and will always be a thief. And I'm like, bruh, could not let that bread go.
Oh.
Shit was really, French people really take their bread seriously here. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he kind of like fakes execution. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he executed him. And then Russell Crowe like books it. And like, I think Hugh Jackman was kind of banking on like, oh, like a guy you pretty much tortured for the majority of his life can let it go.
Maybe you can.
You know, yeah, and I was like, that's a beautiful thing. I just wish it wasn't about bread. Anyway,
Dude.
and then he has like Hugh Jackman has this one solo act
Yeah.
where he's singing. He's like Andy. He's with what's his name again?
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, he's like just singing in front of him while he's like. I couldn't take that part seriously. It was so funny.
Also, I know it was supposed to be like an emotional climax where the revolutionaries are like all killed, but like the one guy that joins, the one with like curly hair, was like passed out drunk the entire time. Just wakes up like, oh, what's happening? He's like, oh, I guess it's my time to die. And you're like, yeah, get yourself a solid friend like that, for them to be like, you know what? Maybe I do want to be bullet riddled for today. Who knows?
It was a really sick scene though. Like just bit by bit, you see everybody getting executed, and then
Yeah.
horrible, but like it was kind of cool, cinematic wise. Yeah, and then Eddie Redmayne like gets shot,
Yeah.
and Hugh Jackman starts like pulling him into like the sewer, and then Russell Crowe comes back with a gun. He says, "Where the fuck they at? I'm coming back for you." And then he like that shit was too real, and I'm not saying that hypothetically. The shit looked very real and kind of gross.
Yeah.
And like even like what's his name?
Eddie Redmayne.
No. There's a guy like looting.
Oh yeah. For,
It was Borat.
oh, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, he was like looting bodies and stuff like that, and then excuse me. And he kind of mistaken that Hugh Jackman murdered this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, really gross scene. Kind of the shit that like Andy from Shawshank Redemption kind of went through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Russell Crowe's like above the stairs, just like I'm gonna finish the job. And he's like, take one more step, I'm gonna kill you. And like Hugh Jackman's like, bro, I'm fucking tired. I'm covered in shit. Just leave me alone. And then walks away. And then Russell Crowe's like, you know what? I'm gonna just end it.
Yeah. The sound design by the end, you're like, I guess he's dead.
It's just whack. Yeah, I'm like, I thought that was water.
Right? I'm like, yeah, for real. I'm like, can you die from that? And you hear, like, oh fuck, I guess he's dead.
I hit concrete. I'm just like, oh fuck.
Right?
Again, I couldn't take this scene seriously.
Yeah, because it all starts.
It's about bread. And how like no, okay, it's not really entirely about bread. It's about Russell Crowe just being like, I let the guy go. Where's my sense of justice? Where I've stood by for many years.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Like if it was maybe.
Did he snap the neck of the king? Why are you so adamant about this?
Wait, it's as if he was Brad Pitt and the guy who got away was John Doe. Like, this is the guy that killed my wife, but I'm gonna let him go because I'm like, it's like the betterment for the people.
Yeah.
But I can't live with myself anymore. I'm gonna jump. But no, the fucker's just like, I let him go with bread. He ran because of parole. I'm like, oh god. And then he jumps, and I'm just like, oh, good riddance.
Yeah.
Like, you could have used those T-1000 skills on a completely maybe Jack the Ripper in London.
Right. I'm like, at least you're free of your bread-ridden conscience, you know? You get to rest in peace.
Like, man couldn't walk into the bakery without seeing Hugh Jackman. It's just like, ah!
You're right. Like, my sense of justice. But yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm shitting on that.
We're ragging on. But yeah, like, by the end of this movie, everything just ends so roughly. Like, even by the end when they're like, you won't surrender? Let's bring in the cannons. You're like, Jesus Christ. Why? Why so much?
They get fucked.
Right?
Absolutely fucked. And that one guy who's like all in red.
Yeah.
Dude just like hangs out of a window. I was like,
yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Before that, the guards like shoot up where they're hiding and they kill everybody except him. And you're like, oh god. Oh god, this is horrible.
Yeah, and then the drunk guy who was like, hold on. Alright, shoot. Like the guy had to like squeeze in as if it was a picture.
Yeah.
I was like, I
think the one time I took Russell Crowe's character seriously is when he took out his medal, pinned it on the kid. He's like, I might have disagreed with your views, but I respect the fact that you were willing to die for your cause so young and so bravely, and giving you respect that you deserve in this life. You're like, I think that was the one time in the movie where I was like, God damn you, I hate this movie. But it's okay.
You're like, no, it's saving grace, saving grace.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
I really did. But anyway,
It.
Hugh Jackman saves Eddie Redmayne, and him and Amanda Seyfried get married. I couldn't feel this time jump.
Yeah.
Everything was kind of moving too fast. I couldn't tell like how much time has passed. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it kind of felt like they were like, we have to wrap up right now, right now, right now. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
shit, okay, fine. What did Hugh
And I was
Jackman
like,
die of? I don't know.
And Hugh Jackman's dying. I'm like, since when?
Right?
Why?
It's like, did he swallow a shit ton of mud rescuing Eddie Redmayne? What happened?
Right, right. But it's supposed to be like a decade later. I'm like,
Doesn't feel like
I don't
it.
get it. Right, like he was like, oh, I'm gonna go away
Yeah.
for a bit because I can't like handle bread. I mean, the errors of my ways. And then years later, they're like, oh, they meet again, but it doesn't feel like years later.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and he meets Anne Hathaway again,
Yeah.
and they both like pass on to the great France in the sky.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But still,
I was just like,
that's still divided, and you're like, I don't know what symbol that is, but that's unfortunate.
right? Fucking barricade is still up, just a little higher. People are still waving flags. And it's like all the dead people in the revolution. I
Yeah.
was like, that's an amazing scene, but what is that trying to say?
Right? Like, I don't like where this is going, but sure. If we're wrapping up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've read comments online saying that this inspired, again, for the people who like grew up in 2010s, this inspired them to be into theater, and that's a great thing. Like, movies had the power to do that. Like, for people in the 2000s, it was, I guess, Phantom of the Opera and Moulin Rouge and whatever came after that. So like, this is their version of that. This is like their version of Rocky almost. Like, this movie inspired me to box. Les Mis inspired me to take up theater as a career, and you're like, all right, more power to you. And it's a very powerful movie. It's just, again, I myself, I just prefer the smaller scale musicals. I'm like, can we just go back to like Moulin Rouge, Phantom? Those are small scale.
I agree. I like those two movies more than Les Mis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's more of my speed.
Yeah, beautifully shot, no doubt. Right? Wonderfully executed. Again, you go from 2012 to 2019, and you're like, what the fuck happened to you, man? Why? I
went through it.
Yeah, I would be surprised if anyone was like, you know what, Cats 2019 inspired me to be a theater kid. You're like, oh, more power to you, man. I don't know.
If it's more of like, I could do better. I need to save this industry.
But yeah, what would you rate Les Miserables? Les Miserables. Yeah.
God, man, I can't fucking do it.
The Miserables. What would you rate the movie?
I'm gonna rate the movie a solid 7 out of 10. Yes, I did score it a little lower than Phantom of the Opera because for me, I enjoyed Phantom of the Opera more than I enjoyed this. It didn't really have that much of a ridiculous plot.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Phantom. Well, this one, I was just like, I couldn't take a lot of scenes seriously. Some were very impactful, though.
Yeah.
Like, when they're pretty much building up the barricade,
Yeah.
and they made their last stand, and a lot of people were lost
Yeah.
through it. I was just like, this is the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like everything else leading up to it is very depressing. This is supposed to be a very depressing movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's great. That's cool. Again, not really a fan of the way they sing here. Like, not a single dialogue was spoken. It was more of just sung.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really keep up with the dialogue. Sometimes I have to backtrack it a bit. I'm just like, what did he say?
Yeah.
And you really need subtitles just to keep up. Anyway, other than that, still a good movie. If you're a theater guy or a theater girl, you could watch this and just like have fun with it.
Yeah.
And like, if somebody likes it, you didn't go like it. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't like it, it doesn't have to change your opinion about about it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yes, I shall also give this 7 loaves of bread out of 10.
Dude, down. Dude, Russell Crowe's gonna bust down your door.
Oh fuck.
My God.
Yeah, like everything was shot beautifully, everything was executed beautifully. Like there are some moments, especially toward the end, where I'm like, God damn, this fucking movie. Why? Like when they're singing,
Yeah.
like, do you hear the people sing, or like the colors of angry men? You're like, God damn right. But like
Yeah.
leading up to it, you're like, why is Russell Crowe so mad at this one man for stealing bread? Again, did he shoot the entire royal family who were trying to steal bread? I guess not. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he'd be dead, literally. But like, just that thought, you're like, I wish this made more sense. I guess I get that it was written in the 19th century, but times change, and this musical obviously hasn't. So you're like, I can't suspend my disbelief for that long. I really can't. But other than that plot and Russell Crowe, I would say trying. He's trying to. You know, he's trying his best.
Yeah.
The rest are pretty impressive, like Hugh Jackman, Sacha Baron Cohen, Anne Hathaway, Helena Bonham Carter, Eddie Redmayne, and, Amanda Seyfried too. Were all just amazing in this movie, and you're like, God damn, this truly is a skill that these people have really honed it in, and you're like, I appreciate that. Even though they're in other movies, like we've seen Hugh Jackman in Wolverine and Deadpool this year, and Amanda Seyfried, of course, in Mean Girls, and you're like, you would have never have guessed stuff like, yeah, they'll be in a epic musical. Never would have thought so. Including Anne Hathaway, because you're like, she's from Princess Diaries. Didn't know she could sing. Jesus Christ, everybody can sing except for the poor gladiator boy. But it is what it is. But yeah, again, both 7 out of 10. As you said, it's if you deem it higher, then more power to you. I would understand why. And if this inspired you to be into theater, that's fantastic. And I do like how these musicals hit people in a different way. And that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, that's been our video for Les Mis, because saying the full name I might get too tongue twisted. What's your favorite song in this musical to the audience watching? Whether it be in the first act, second act, or third act. Whatever it is, comment down below. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see your best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zoda's Voices on TikTok and Enswolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JobJM_ on Instagram. It is my article.
And until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.